What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Unfiltered Eagles Mailbag. We do this every Tuesday where you can submit all your Eagles questions and we answer them. Also, make sure you're listening to the show live every weekday, 2 to 6 on 97.5 The Fanatic. Or, remember I tell you all the times, subscribe to the podcast. We put every segment on there. You don't even have to worry about commercials. Just fast forward right through. It's a little secret. All right, you ready for our Eagles
Secret
mailbag?
of the pros.
You ready for Eagles Mailbag? All right, right out of the gates with a strong question. Is it time to change play callers? And if so, who are the best candidates to take over play calling?
I'm going to start with, you are 11 games into the season. If they do make any kind of a move, it can't be somebody that comes in fresh and is going to change everything up. We've seen this issue before. We've seen, Jalen Hurts with a new play caller each and every year, and we see the growing pains that you have to go through. What is going on right now is whatever happens, which I don't think Nick's going to make a change. I think Nick's going to sit with this. I think Nick's going to stick his nose a little deeper into this and maybe call him plays himself. But you have to stick with the program that's already out there. Whether you change up some plays, whether you, the dynamic of the offense, you want to make it look a little different. Maybe that happens. They are not going outside the organization. That would be a no. And number two, I think Nick is going to get his nose back into play calling, regardless of what he said on Monday afternoon.
Yeah, I've been reluctant to say change play callers up until this last game. And although I don't put a majority of the blame on Patullo, I think there's a lot of other issues. I do think maybe it's time to do it because you got to give some sort of spark to your offense. And it does look like Patullo lacks the art of knowing when to call plays and the offensive coordination in a game where you call certain things to set up other things and you can counter to what the defense is doing and all that. So I would do it. You're right. It can't be outside the building. I don't think it should be Nick. I think Nick has proven he can't call plays.
But I think that's what's going to happen.
I also think Nick has grown into this CEO role on game days that would change things up. I think you give it to Scott Loeffler. I think you go to the quarterback's coach.
I see what you're doing. Go to the quarterback's coach. He's familiar with Jalen Hurts. I get all that. But you don't think Nick still has that urge? We know that he's not completely out of this.
He hasn't done it in 4 years. He did it in 2021,
he's
the first 7 games.
He's listening to every play that's being called. You don't think he's having his own thought process of, I'd like to see this play here. Blah, blah, blah.
But he would still have that ability.
Unless Howie says no.
Yeah.
I mean.
I just think he likes being able to manage the game, and it's difficult to
call
plays
you?
and
Are we boring you?
manage game. Dylan behind the things is yawning back there. He wouldn't yawn on the morning show, though. He'd be on the edge of his seat. If John Kincade was talking, Dylan would be like,
for
what did he say now?
Andrew.
Wow, what did he say?
Got to get this one out as quickly as possible.
All right, this kind of ties in, though, with the play caller, because this is the second question. What is the biggest reason why the Eagles can't run the ball? And you and I have been pretty consistent. You've been talking about this for months.
Yeah.
The offensive line.
I thought it was noticeable. The reason why I thought I've been talking about this for months, because I think it was noticeable in the first couple of games of the season. I don't. Maybe it was just because I was expecting something a little bit bigger, a little bit better from these guys, and maybe I was actually picking on the offensive line, but it's kind of come to fruition that they are part of the problem this year, which has not been in years past. And in years past, the one thing that you could always see and always demand out of them was a physicality. This year, there's been a lot of injuries on that offensive line. There's been a lot of mental mistakes from the offensive line, which I think that may bother me more than anything else that's been going on. We've seen Jordan Mailata, who is a stone. He's a rock. And this guy's been making a lot of mistakes with penalties here in the last, 3 or 4 weeks. And so, I mean, it's not just one guy. We've seen Cam Jurgens. He's been playing injured all year. I don't think there's any doubt about that. We've seen Lane Johnson with multiple injuries this year. Landon Dickerson had the injury. He comes back. You don't know if he was 100% when he came back. But, I mean, if these guys, those 5 guys in the front, aren't going on all cylinders, you're going to see problems every single week. I think they've had really one good week with a good push and physicality, and I think that was the Giants' second game.
Yeah, that was really the only time the running game was effective. Look, I think some of it could be the run designs and the blocking concepts, but as much as people want to point to Kevin Patullo on that, we've talked about this on air a lot, you still have Jeff Stoutland here. Jeff Stoutland's still the run game coordinator. He's still Stoutland University. So if we're frustrated with what the run concepts look like and the blocking concepts look like. Well, that's on Statland too, which leads me to believe, Ricky, that we're right when we say it's more on the offensive line itself, the injuries, the mental mistakes. And now with Lane Johnson out, it has the ripple effect because not only is Fred Johnson having to start at tackle, they can't bring him in jumbo package like they used to. They had to bring in Matt Pryor. What happened? Matt Pryor's not lined up properly. It wipes out a big play. I mean, there's a lot going on here. And I also think Saquon a little bit. I'm not putting a majority of it on Saquon, but I went back and watched some of the plays from this most recent Cowboys game. He's not hitting the holes.
No, he's dancing.
Not.
I told you yesterday, and I don't know if you believe me yesterday.
Yeah, I watched it last night.
The one thing I saw, like, he'll be 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, ready to go to the hole, and then he'll do a little dance and realize that now they're swarming. I have nowhere else to go. Just hit the hole. Take the 3 or 4. You know what it seems like? He doesn't want the 2 or 3 yards that is in front of him. He wants 60 down the field.
Yeah.
You know what? You're not going to get that right now because the holes aren't there. So what do you take? You take what you can get, and he has not been doing that.
Yep. Now, the next one coming up is something I'm going to talk about on the show today, Ricky Bo, which is, do we need to worry about the defense now with all the injuries? Because we're focused so much on the offense, understandably so. But with injuries now to Drew Makuba, Adoree Jackson, Reed Blankenship, do we have to be concerned about that secondary and this defense, maybe even more than the offense?
I want you to think about this for a second. You're already going into second stringers. You've already got that problem on the outside corner. You thought it might have been fixed. Now, all of a sudden, injuries are starting to creep up again. Now you're one injury away from having nothing on defense, really. If things go poorly, look, guys get injured every game, especially deeper into the season. The Eagles still have 6 more games left in the regular season. Somehow, I think the concentration level has got to be, let's stay healthy here, number one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when you're moving Cooper DeJean as much as he has been moved, you're not going to get that excellence in the one position that he was as a slot back. So, I just think there's going to be problems. If Makuba's not going to be here for a while, that means Sidney Brown as of right now. Can Sidney Brown kind of carry the load? I don't know. Sidney Brown's the one that hurt Makuba.
Yeah, or the other
he hit him.
The other option, and we'll hear from Vic Fangio later today. The other option is they could move Michael Carter the second to safety. Because Roseman did mention he can play safety. But now if you do that,
then
who's
Cooper's
your starting
got to
nickel?
go back into the slot.
So Cooper's your nickel. Who's your outside corner? I guess are you going back to Keeley or Jacorian Bennett? A lot of questions. I'm sure we'll find out a lot this week.
I think what was noticeable early in the season, Keeley was not the answer.
No, and that's why they've made so many
moves.
And
that's why they've made so many. Where is Jacorian Bennett?
He's just not getting on the field. And then the other issue, so that's a Roseman miss. Letting Isaiah Rodgers walk, we talked about that. Bringing in Jacorian Bennett.
Yeah, but
bringing in Jair Alexander, he's not even here anymore.
He doesn't want to play. The one thing we can't do is say, you know what, Isaiah Rodgers should still be here. You can't say that. He's not here. It was a business call. You can't say that anymore. I know you love to bring it up because I'll say it. You were absolutely 100% correct.
Yeah, it's just
in your theories about it. They shouldn't have gotten rid of him. There was really no reason to get rid of him. But now we're sitting in a situation where that's not happening, and he's not here. So it's not something that I believe to even be thrown out there because it's just it's kind of throwing something invisible
that you can't change.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll find out more this week. Quick game on Friday. But here's the big question. And we're going to talk about this as well a little bit on the show today, Dylan. I don't know if you saw my show sheet when you pulled these questions from our listeners. Do you still view this Eagles team as a Super Bowl contender, a legitimate Super Bowl contender?
I want to bring up my answer, but I think your answer is going to be no. I still think they are. All right. And the reason why I'm going to say this is the Rams are the Rams. The Rams are playing at top notch right now. And they've been for 3 weeks now. They kind of had this build up where they're turning into this really, really great team instead of just being a good team. And the thing that scares me about the Rams is that I believe, and this is a belief from watching what they did to the Buccaneers in this past week, I believe they learned something from that Eagles game, that they are no longer are taking their foot off of the gas for anybody.
Yeah.
And if they have a chance to step on your throat, that's what they're going to do. And I think that is something that they learned from. Now, I think the Eagles, the ball's kind of in their court. It just happened to you, the exact same thing that happened to the Rams early in the season when you came back on the Rams. Now it's happened to you. The ball is now in the Eagles' court as to how they want to play this thing. Do I still think they're a contender? Yes, I do. I still think they can get there as long as these injuries don't come back to haunt them.
I'm going to agree with you because you look around the NFC, there's only one team.
There's only a couple teams.
You mentioned the Rams. And the Eagles already beat them, even though they weren't playing their best football. And I get it. The Rams let off.
There is one team that we keep deleting, and the Eagles are playing them on Friday.
The Chicago Bears.
Yes, and we keep deleting them because we don't have a belief in Caleb Williams.
The Bears aren't that good. They're just not. I mean, they're 8-3, but they're not. The Bears shouldn't scare you. And none of these other teams should scare you because the Eagles have enough talent that, yes, they could get back to a Super Bowl, but there's certainly issues that need to be fixed. But I'm not ready to say, oh, no, they got zero shot, and you're not either. But tune in every single day, Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 for Unfiltered on 97.5 The Fanatic. Make sure you're subscribed to YouTube. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching Unfiltered on YouTube. You could like and subscribe down here. You could also see our other shows over here. Go ahead and watch them all. We love when you watch. The one thing, hey, you could also catch us on 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com, and NBC Sports Philadelphia. See you there.